Alright, so I think the next thing to build will be our enemy with some basic AI. Let's push that up to master, like so. Okay, so in our level tutorial, let's open the scene. We're now going to place some enemies, but we don't have any enemies yet, so I think we are going to create a new scene. I'm going to create a new directory called enemies, and let's create a new scene, and we'll just call this it's a name for an enemy. Let's be really generic and call it a viper. And that is going to be I kind of want it to be a rigid body. A rigid body 2D. Okay. And that means we're going to need a sprite underneath it. So let's have a look for some sprite. Yep. Let's have a dig around our file system for a nice little enemy sprite. Yeah, we have some hitmen. I don't think we want little guys running around, although it would be hilarious. Let's have a look at the space stuff we have access to. Astronauts? Not quite. Not yet, maybe one day. Okay, so I think I want some sort of ship. Something quite wide. Ooh, that's nice. The dark is going to be a good contrast, I think. Or that one, maybe. Yeah, definitely the X. The X one, yes. So much yes. Let's put this in our body. Stick that there, and I'm just going to call it Viper. Okay, and then let's drag this texture into our texture sprite. Now this is going to have quite an interesting collision shape. Thinking in just a square will do for now. Oh look. Collision shape 2D. And let's just create a rectangle and open that up. It's going to be what, about 50? A bit bigger than that. 80 by 50. Yeah. Maybe. I don't imagine we're really going to bang into the enemy quite so much. Okay, that'll do for now. That'll do. So now we have our rigid body like so. I think what we're going to do is we're going to create two particle systems to show the different engines. Okay. Bear with me, because I've thought about this, and I think this is going to be quite cool. I'll just say particles, CPU particles 2D, yep. And let's position that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so where is that? That is at minus 2748. So we're going to say particles L for left, and then we're going to duplicate this and call this particles R, and we're just going to transform that by updating to 27. Okay. I probably should have set these properties for duplicating it. Yeah, so anyway. I don't think we need 8 of these. I think 3 should be enough. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to delete this until we get the visuals feeling a bit better. Okay, so I might even bring the time down a bit, so that way we get even more. Okay, maybe 3 is not enough. Okay, and then the initial velocity needs to be way higher, right? Maybe even higher than that. Okay, and the direction is going to be down like that, and the spread is not going to be that spready. Okay, cool. Now I think that's kind of got the inertia feeling. Initial velocity, maybe we even want more velocity here. Yeah, okay, cool. Linear acceleration, I'm going to make that like a negative 20. Maybe even more than that, 100. So I want those particles to feel like they blast out and they instantly slow down. Negative 200. There we go, yep. I think that feels a bit nicer, a bit more realistic. Maybe... scale. Okay, so scale, let's scale them a little bit. And maybe just give them a curve so they start out quite big. Not quite full size, but then they sort of scale up to full size. And then as they die, they just sort of peter out a little bit. Cool. Alright. So I think that's a pretty rudimentary particle system, but it's just going to give us the impression, and I'm just going to put it behind the sprite, and it's just going to give us a visual indicator of when the enemies are turning. Otherwise we won't really be able to know, and I think it'll be cool to be able to visualize the forces that are being applied to the ship. Okay, cool. So those are going to be emitting off by default, right? Cool. And then essentially we want to emit a ray from our ship. and then that's going to determine whether the ship is going to be turning or not, right? So we want a raycast 2D, and let's shoot it in which direction? No, negative 100, maybe even further, negative 2000. No, that's way too much, isn't it? Maybe negative 1000. Can't really visualize it anymore. Gone too far. Okay, and we want to transform this by about what, 30? Maybe more. Okay, so how far ahead should the enemy care about banging into stuff? I feel like that's not far enough. Maybe twice that, so negative 1000, I think makes sense, and then maybe push that out a little bit more to like a 75. Screw it, let's go 80. YOLO. Okay, so I think that's essentially our navigation ray navigation. We'll put navigation ray right, and we'll just duplicate that to be our left, and just flip that transform to be a, whoops, no, not that at all, a negative 80, right? Okay, cool. So the enemy's going to shoot a ray out of each side, and if it's colliding with something other than, well, colliding with the environment, then it's going to activate its jet on that side to rotate, and then if both of them are touching the environment, then it's going to slow down. Yeah. Cool. All right. Sweet. Okay, so let's call this the Viper, and let's add a script to our Viper. Okay. Oops. So every frame, we want to get the status of what? Well, let's just pass the process frame, and let's get onReady left. Let's call what? Navigation ray L is equal to $ navigation ray L, right? And so we've got our left and right navigation rays. We also have our onReady particles L is equal to